Hi, welcome to episode 2. This is a quick preview of the artwork that's coming up in episode 3, including these characters that my daughter and I have been working on. One of them is based on the main character name in Highlander. We'll see how long that lasts. Please do subscribe and help support the channel and like the video. Going back to this tape, which was the previous episode, do go back and listen and watch this episode if you hadn't. It's a mysterious tape which I found in a charity shop, which appears to have special effects on it, including a kind of mechanical, eerie set of footsteps and machinery and very strange things. But it reminded me of a nightmare that I really had when I was 5 and 6, where I was abducted, which doesn't sound good, but in this case it's a bit silly because I was abducted by puppets, cardboard and felt puppets. Not sure how that works. Anyway, my dad sort of bade us good night, me and my brother, in the dream this is, at which point we felt that we were being carried and the world was moving. So I opened up the sheets and could see a cardboard skeleton before I scrunched it up amongst other monsters. So yeah, kind of weird. So that inspired me to try and recreate something for the tape for the game. So scraping and knocking noises and mechanical noises. Now I stitched them all together here, reversing them and trying to time them to exactly like, I don't know, a fraction of a second, a half second I think. Now let's take a look at a couple of pieces that I'm working on, including a little bit of music theory and a bit of production as well, so that I can share some of the music that I'm going to put in the game. 3 pieces, in fact. So most of the tracks in this game are going to be kind of moody and atmospheric, but I did want to have like some upbeat music as well. So I'm going to put together a track with the synthesizers, maybe the guitar as well, and the drum machine. I'll just run through how I do some of the sound creation. The later part of the video might look at a bit of the structure, but for now let's start by doing something a bit fun. So this is like my Roland Juno 6. My daughter tells me I use maybe a little bit too much. What I've done here is I've got a nice bright sounding sound on the top line like this. Ooh, maybe not quite that deep. Let's try that. So this is the MS-20 Mini because it's not quite full size. We're going to use it to make some sound effects. I actually use this on Overlord to make the sound effects for that game. So this is the Poly 800. We'll be using it for some extra sounds on the track. So up here is like the drum machine shelf. This is the Korg Volca Beats. It's like a modern analog drum machine. These knobs change the sounds. It's got a preset on it at the minute, so that works fairly well. Change the sound of the drums a bit. in various ways. Oh, that's interesting. Change the bass drum clickiness. Ooh, bit more bass drummy. I might have it like that actually. So that's quite good fun. So this is the monopoly. We're using it for bass. It's got a portamento, which can go down quite high. It's also got a polyphonic portamento. We're not going to use that in this track. Please note the high-tech string capture technique I'm using, or rather not using. This is a fairly old version of Cubase, and I plan to capture the tracks on here via my external sound card. It's down there, and mix it together. So, in music, one of the key elements you might have in composition is the tonic, which is C is obviously C. Then you have the subdominant, which in C is F. And you have the dominant, which is G. So you have, that underpins quite a lot of Well, it's worth noting then, since we have another little bit of music, which is this. We've got an F chord, so you've got a third, then dominant, and then the octave. And if I drop it down to what we call the seventh note, because there are kind of 8 whole notes there, 12 semitones all the way up, with 8 whole notes. Then you have a seventh chord. You play that on the third here. And we've got our lovely, we call a ninth.